Ana brethren. Manon kanazakwa brethren. Everybody is still brethren. Look at, if you go to Alibo, the motherless babies, some of the motherless babies home, you will see that Catholic owns some where they take care of our kids. You see that some of these school and churches are being owned either by Anglican or church Catholic or Catholic people. You understand? Some of these hospitals, in fact, some of these reverend sisters, sometimes they go to teach our younger ones. Na ha na-akwado WAEC ma O level ma ihe na. Kedu uru chọọchị ndị ofe mmanụ a mba ala anyị nwa? If you're going to repent, ni repent on our winners, you are not going to heaven. The way they even shade these our Catholic churches that have really helped our life right from beside the war, before the war, right from the time of the war. The way they shade those churches to make you believe that you are not worshiping God if you're going to those places. Now, when it comes to leadership, anything that will affect our life, our collective life, he's seen a backdoor support to ba onye behendi fanatically corrupt. House on the Rock Church, I for your beautiful church branch in Enugu. Mana, you are the one that started preaching Paul and Saul, so that we can accept a drug dealer that have made our life miserable. And every Sunday you are preaching to us prosperity. You are preaching to us, oh, your God will do this, God will do that. But you saw a confirmed, documented drug dealer. But tribalism did not allow you. This is where we are. This is where we are. And you know why Yoruba churches are very successful? Because these are the people that doesn't really have conscience. These are tribes that can actually openly lie with God's name, damning the consequences. They don't care. They are raised like that. Lies, deceit. You think that all this lie, deceit that they are known for, that they will not, it now get to church that they will not apply it. Go and look at the leadership of RCCG. It cannot be coincidence. Every branch onye Yoruba, every destiny onye Yoruba. Gewambu an Igbo man that has worked so hard, built your destiny. All of a sudden you become weak under one Pastor Lugbenga Koginina, all in the name na obu pastor. Pastor ebe ko ebe ko na pastor aga. So you as an Igbo man, you don't know how to worship God. No, Yoruba pastor Kazigi Mara Chineke. We have to stop these people. So if you're listening to me, all these Yoruba churches, if you guys know that you're out there to continue to milk our people, you will be shocked what we will do to those buildings you have in our place, because those things are just buildings. The churches are in the minds of the people. Those owners, those buildings you have that you're using to gather our people and milk them, you will be shocked what we will do to those buildings when the time comes. Because now we are in what we are constantly doing is to preach and at least to untie all those constant brainwash that you guys have done years. Once we are able to educate our people enough on the nonsense you guys have done, we will be able to comfortably march to those your churches Don't all the time our shops, our offices are being set ablaze. Our shops are being set ablaze in your hometown, in your place, in Lagos, all those places. You will never say anything. If we begin to target those buildings and begin to destroy them, I'm very sure it's vice versa. Because your churches in Igbo land are nothing but pure businesses. We know people that are all for God. You are very intentional about just taking our money. But when it comes to building any infrastructure that will benefit the people, you take it, you apply bigotry and take it to your own place. Employ your people in those schools, employ only your people in the admin. Imagine these universities that Yoruba men are building in their hometown. Do you know how many of their people they are employed, they comfortably pay? But when it comes to gathering the collective money to
They will remember Igbo land. So do you see how that nuisance comfortably and gently spewing out nonsense with so much confidence? I mean, it would have made a lot of sense, seriously, if his rage and his, what do you call it, his hatred is not centered around or centered for the Yorubas. People in defense of somebody like that will say, oh, but Yoruba said something like that too. Now, it would have made sense, like I said. For example, if you are somebody who says, we must cut the influence of religion in our people. Now, when you use that, it simply means your issue is what people have used religion, right, to do in, I mean, it weaken your own people. So, to free the sheepies, right, you first have to liberate their minds from the, from wherever they have used religion to sort of like, cage them. Well, he started with churches. Yoruba churches are fraud, like they are scams and other stuff. But I would say your churches, your mosques, in that contraption where you have a different businessmen and women handling them, they are just business centers. So he was right when he said the church is in the mind of the people. It is, the church there is just a building, but what is in the mind of the people is the real religion or something like that, right? So he's also right. Then he said Yoruba tribes, they are liars. And that is like a kind of using one single brush to paint the entire tribe. It's just like me saying, man, the Igbos, they are. And then people will say, what do you mean? Like, how many Igbos have you met in your life, Mr. Mayego? For you to come to that conclusion, can you tell us? Then I would have to double down, confidently spewing rubbish, nonsense. And that's exactly what that was. Right? Yorubas are not liars as tribes. Human beings are liars, treacherous, deceitful, and can do anything just to get whatever they want. Human beings, Yorubas are also as Igbos. Humans is human nature. Do you understand? So, and they will do anything to do that. Okay. And once we start picking and cherry picking, right? It's pretty much like a preposterous, they will say. Right? So he said, what we will do to those buildings, that means the churches, according to him, this time around, right, Yoruba churches in Igbo land. What about you close all churches? Yeah? What about you close all churches? Because there are, what do you call it? You have your bigger churches in Igbo land too, don't you? Like that guy in Enugu, that fake miracle pastor. You have a lot of them now. You have what's that guy's name? Mbaka. And people go there also to give him money and do, right? You don't have any problem with that. He spoke about Catholics, and the Catholics say, Catholic mission, building schools, hiring teachers, brilliant. So how many schools are the Igbo churches? How many schools have they built? How many teachers have they hired and the rest of that? So if you are going to pick any, you just have to probably just pick the churches themselves and say, yeah, we are waging war against churches. But Yoruba churches, that is where that tribalism and the bigotry is. He spoke like somebody who is personally pained. And I feel for him when he spoke about T-Pain, Tifnumbu, that some people used tribalism to force Tifnumbu. That too, right? Doesn't make any sense. So you want to agree and say, oh, I feel your pain, or how Tifnumbu became your president. It wasn't the Yorubas that made Tifnumbu your president. If by any design, right, despite all the arrogance, the Yorubas rejected Tifnumbu, like outrightly. So if you're paying that Tifnumbu is the president of that contraption, and then you are latching that on the Yorubas generally, so that means you are a nuisance. If you feel like that too, like an Igbo person, because you know something, I used to see people that will come onto my Mayegun's Diary Political and they will look at me and say, man, I can't believe this guy is a Yoruba man. Some will say, oh, this is the only Yoruba man that I know that tells the truth. They didn't know that it is actually the bigotry inside them that is speaking out. Some of you feels like that. So that's why I said from the beginning that the bigotry that we are experiencing in that contraption didn't start with Tifnumbu and Co. They just weaponized it. It's always been there. And you have all of your bigots from every tribe who blames other people for whatever it is that they are passing through. And when I say other people, I mean, it's easier to just say, for example, say, the Hausas are the Northerners are the problem of Nigeria. I've heard people say that many times. Others will say, Yorubas are the problem of Nigeria. Another will say, now these Igbo people be the problem of Nigeria. All of them, right, they are referring to the victims of a failed system. So when you say the Northerners are the problems of this country, so you're practically saying that an average Northerner that is dodging bomb or dodging bullets, hiding from a kidnapper, and you know that stuff, right, is also responsible for you not being safe in your own community, you, right, not being able to actually live a better life, like lead a better life because of the poverty and the hardship in the land. So it is like that. Or you blame, you say, the Igbos are the problem of Nigeria. You say, how? The Yorubas are the problems of Nigeria. The Yorubas, the Igbos, the Hausas, and everybody else, right, is feeling the pang of a failed system. But there are those who conveniently, stupidly, right, conveniently and comfortably, they will spew that. And then you see others that will agree and say, that's true, my brother. My brother, God bless you, Jare. Thank you for saying the truth. You know it, the Yorubas are the problem. I'm a Yoruba man. Can you say I'm your problem? If you are not a Yoruba, for example, like if you are from that contraption, when you look at me, we do say, you this Bayogun, you are because you are a Yoruba man, you are a problem. So everyone is pushing their own different bigotry, giving excuses. You know, it's easier to hide behind anything and say, as a Yoruba, I can say, I start abusing any other tribe right now. Like for real, like just be banging and banging, a lot of that. I am going to see a lot of Yoruba bigots who are going to back me and say, hey, now you are talking, Mayegun. We told you. You see these Hausa people. You see these Igbo people. You cannot trust them. They are this, they are, you get what I mean? Like you will see those who are going to back me. Why some of you are going to be in shock, like, so Mayegun is a bigot too. You get what I mean? So every one of us could react, give excuses and all that. But at the end of the day, we are doing just one job. Just one job. And that is the job to keep the old division weaponized, never to come together to face the rogues who have put all of us in this precarious situation, right? It will remain difficult. And that's why I said it is politically sponsored. And that is why we have to keep, exposing it this way. You know what I mean? I like keep shining the light on it. So those of you who are closet what do you call it? The closet tribalist or the closet bigots. So those of you who didn't see anything wrong in slandering other people and even threatening them, the way we have witnessed in that contraption, like, you know. So to those of you, so you need to know, and we'll keep shining the light on it. People can keep sharing their own personal experiences as well, like share your experience, tell us, because the height of it all is that tribalism, or what you call it, the bigotry, doesn't actually really favor anybody. If you come to think of it, like generally, it doesn't favor anybody. It just keeps you bittered, sad. You know what I mean? Like sad. Who wants to live a sad life? How can people be comfortable living a sad life? A life where you just choose to be miserable in a way, right? Meanwhile, the common thing that affects everyone, okay, in which we are all victims of this horrible, terrible criminal regime that affects everyone, including the forceful, union. They call it one Nigeria, right? This forceful union that should be having everyone's kind of like, everyone's request right now, demanding that it's either we renegotiate this contraption or everyone go their separate ways. But we are soaking in toxic, divisive, one Nigeria. So you have a chance and a shot, right, to share your experience when it comes to this subject matter. So give me a sec. I want to put the line back up. So let's hope that opens, okay? So what I mean is that you can share your own personal experience and also call out those who have taken it as their, their own clarion call, right? Because there are those who, but now I don't know how to describe them. Sure, you get. It's like they wake up every day to keep inflaming rhetorics like this, right? And then they go to bed as well, satisfied that they've had a wonderful day. And they'll go, or I mean, they wake up tomorrow again, they'll do the same thing the next day, again and again and again. And to be honest, in real life, people have been asking questions. Yeah, I've had to like send a very, very long voice note to an individual that reached out to me. She's a grandma, put it that way. So she is a product of mixed, two different parental background. Like, the mom, according to her mom was Igbo, she's late. So her dad was Yoruba. They are from Ondo State. So they were raised, they were born and raised in Lagos before she finally relocated back to the US. Relocated back to the US. So I'll leave that few information there so that the person probably, will be watching too. Now she reached out where she said she's I think she's 71 or 72, but she's in her 70s. Okay. So she said she's been following the conversation around this, this Yorubaness or not being Yoruba enough. And somehow she's very sad because it used to be a thing of pride, like, right, when they were growing up, that they had to go to, they had to go to the East for holidays, or sometimes they have to receive people from the East for holidays. So it was like, when they spend time with their families on both sides, they were never reminded of not being fully Yoruba. But they're all she's been reading, and as well as the reactions of some of these public office holders in Yoruba land, they have been giving her a serious concern. Because 3 of our own children, right, they also like they intermarried with, other ethnic nationalities, put it that way. So to her, what will be the fate? What will be the fate of the children, the grandchildren, and others in Yoruba land when Yoruba land becomes independent? She's one of those who have been very vocal as well, very supportive for the Yoruba nation's advocacy. She has been. So she was like, she's been thinking that day when she sent me that message, right? Voice notes. She said she's been thinking, and the only person she